if I'm not doing different things, my biggest fear in life is that I will stop growing and I will stagnate and I live for that intellectual stimulation. One of the things I see in the youngsters these days is, yes, you want to try different things, but you shouldn't spread yourself too thin. You know, people always confuse aggression/ego with drive.
I love people who bounce off careers. Okay, they think of, and not careers, it's about mindset. So when you did CA, so you were in a mindset of key profession. Then you went to MBA Duke. That was a mindset of consulting zyada hota hai, background thoda, right? So you had that big corporates, big jobs, all of that. That was a mindset which you were trained for 2 years. Then you moved to Bay Area. That's like hardcore Silicon Valley, startup. And then you came back to India, did your family business, family ground value leadership and built India. Kaun sa mindset you love the most?
So Raj, I'm just wired a certain way. I have to keep doing different things. I have to keep trying new things.
Okay.
Because I believe in this concept of lifelong learner.
Yeah.
And I believe that if you keep doing the same thing for too long, the growth at some point stops. And you know, Aman's favorite word, kick. Mujhe kick nahi mili. So I get my kick out of growth, out of learning.
वो जीना भी कोई जीना है जिसमें kick ना हो पगली.
So it was very important for me to keep doing different things. So while you stopped at MCure, even within MCure, whether it's my YouTube channel, Uncondition Yourself, or writing a book, or doing Shark Tank, or starting my academy, I have to be doing different things.
Yeah.
Because if I'm not doing different things, my biggest fear in life is that I will stop growing and I will stagnate and I live for that intellectual stimulation.
So I get that. And this is
I don't
great
think so. The
question
answer to your question is I don't think there's anything I can say, oh, this is my favorite.
Okay.
You know, I'm one of those who enjoys the journey.
But here's a question beyond that, okay? Because this, what you said, is like every young person today.
Yeah.
They have like 10,000 interests. They want to do
Yeah.
everything and they feel, isi se growth aayega, mujhe ye bhi seekhna hai, mujhe ye bhi seekhna hai, mujhe ye bhi seekhna hai, right? How do you choose what to do at one time?
You know, that's a very good question because one of the things I see in the youngsters these days is, yes, you want to try different things, but you shouldn't spread yourself too thin.
Okay.
If you're all over the place, then you don't get depth. And if you have a mindset of whatever I pick, I want to be outstanding, I want to be excellent, then for excellence, depth is important. Focus and depth is important. And that focus and depth doesn't come if at any given point you're doing 200 things.
Yeah.
So it's a very tricky balance, right? Because you want to be doing multiple things so that you're stimulated, you're growing. But at the same time, it's very important how you balance those things such that at any given time, if you do that one thing, it gets 100% focus, 100% depth. You make sure you're outstanding at it, and then you move on to the next thing.
That's a philosophy that, hey, if you are not being very, very strict about your goals, about your, numbers, about everything, if you're not like bang on, you've not built like a culture, jo ekdam, it's like competitive almost every time, you spread you spread like complacency in the entire
You know, people always confuse aggression/ego with drive.
Okay.
You can be the most driven person, most ambitious person, achieving the most brilliant outcomes, and still not be an arrogant, egoistical person. You don't need to have a toxic culture to get outcome. The toxicity is out for good, right? And I think it's all this Bollywood, Hollywood, these stories we read that the quintessential culture in tycoon has to be ruthless,
Yeah.
crazy competitive and cutthroat, and backstabbing if you want to become a top company and if you want to achieve results. And I have enough examples and enough case studies, India and globally, of people who are very driven and have got enormous success without being arrogant and egoistical.